bring the band in. Woo! Well, all right. Yeah.
Hey guys, welcome back to Between Rounds. We're here today with another Cageside Rewind with one of my favorite human beings of all time, Miss Jocelyn Lybarger.
Hello. Thank you for having me, Coach.
So excited.
Yes, it's been a minute.
Yeah, it has. It's good to see you. You know what I was doing? Looking up stuff, make sure I'm prepared. And lights out Lybarger. Did we actually ever put any lights out?
Oh, for heavens, no. No.
Is that more of a bedtime thing? Like just turn the lights out, go to sleep?
Yeah, we should. I don't even know how it got up there online, to be honest.
I don't know how I forgot that, but I giggled about it a little bit, and then I had to check your record, make sure we didn't actually put any lights out.
No, we did not. Maybe we came close. Maybe
You're a tough old bird. Well, you got in there. Oh, hey,
Yeah.
How old are you this year? How are you going to be your birthday this year?
I'm going to be the big 4-0.
Woo! Level 40, as Jared Cannoneer calls it.
Yeah, 40 on October 4th.
Yeah,
So.
10-4, baby.
10-4 over now. I do not feel 40, though.
No.
To be honest. Got some more Botox done yesterday. So, I got
Looking smooth, ready to roll.
Yep.
You know, you just ran 10 miles this morning, too. Yeah.
I did. And that's one thing you always hated is how many miles I'd run during
I
a
wanted
fight
you to be
camp.
faster twitch.
I know.
And like in all seriousness, that marathon training is very good for you. Mentally, it's hard. Your muscles are going to be strong and your wind's going to be good for a long period of time. But those bursts.
Yep. Could we catch up with the girls at 1:15? No.
Yeah.
Could we cut off the cage faster than them? No. But
Hey.
but I still like to run.
Yeah. Well, it was always fun for you. Do you find peace in it? Is that like a release for
It's
you?
like my happy place.
Oh, cool.
So yeah.
That is the saddest place on earth for me.
For a lot of people, actually. For a lot of people, it is. But if I just get going, I felt really good this morning, actually, if we want to talk about it. Okay. There's 70%.
Since we're here, let's do it.
70% humidity here in Arizona, right? Like I got a good sweat. All 10 miles were under 8 minutes. So I felt like really good. I started too fast, though. Right, which that's something I'm working on, and I felt really good this morning.
That's awesome. Well, you've always been such a great athlete. When you grew up, did you play a lot of sports?
Yeah,
Porterville, right?
Yep.
Born and raised?
No, born in San Diego.
San Diego, because that's why the Padres
and Chargers. Yeah,
that's a
LA
whole.
Chargers.
Let's start with your growing up in Porterville. Tell me about your sports, your activities and stuff.
The first sport Dad put us in, Jill and I both, was motocross, right?
Really?
I think Dad wished he had boys, Put us in motocross for a couple years and then put us in hockey, right? Roller hockey, only girls.
Roller hockey.
Yep. And then finally we're like, Dad, can we do something where there's more girls?
You just don't want stuff with wheels in it. As long as it has wheels, we can do it. Right.
And then that's when we started playing softball and, swimming and basketball. We did it all, I would say Jill loved softball and I was more a basketball player, right?
Yeah. Your twin sister, right? Like that seems easy for us, but just so people checking it out. And you guys both did you start fighting together? Yeah.
I mean, Jill fought, I would say Jill was training first, right? And I was always training, but fighting first, it was Jill. Right?
So wait, you're in Porterville, you went through high school, and then what happens?
So after high school, went to college in San Diego, played basketball in college.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Where at? What college?
Well, it's just a JC, San Diego Mesa.
That's still college basketball.
I was, I got a starting position. I thought I was going to go to the WNBA, right? But when you get to college and the sisters are
how tall are you?
Fast. 5'7.5".
There you go. Oh, I'm gonna play 5. I'm gonna play the 5.
I was a shooting guard. No, but in college we were training boxing, right? And we both loved it. It was more for a workout, and we would spar here and there, nothing crazy. Until
where'd you train in San Diego?
It was called like Boxing Clay or something, just like a little gym or something.
Was it like a cardio gym or was it?
Yeah, it was more like a cardio gym, right? But I think like being athletic, like Jill and I picked it up fast, right?
Yeah.
And then when we moved to Arizona, that's when Jill found blue collar, started training at blue collar, and then she went to Siege.
Right.
And then, I followed her, and then I was like, we can't train here.
So how long had you been training at Siege when you moved to the lab?
Me? Like maybe a month. I was like, we can't.
Was
we
that
can't
soon after you came to Arizona?
Yeah.
Wow.
For me, I was like, Jill, I can't. Like, we suck at the ground, right? We need to go to where Ben Henderson is. Because during that time, we didn't know like a lot, right? You hear Ben wrestled in college, you think, okay, that's where we need to go, right? Yeah. And that's when, I found you.
I didn't know that. I didn't know Ben had been your motivation to come here.
Yeah.
And back at the time, was he the champ back then?
Nope.
No, before.
Yeah.
How had you heard about him? Just watching the WC?
Yep.
His first pro fight, the first WC
was here in Arizona.
What?
Right?
His first one was in San Diego.
Oh, I thought it was the one.
Yeah,
here.
he fought Anthony Njokuani in San Diego.
Oh, wow.
I thought you were going to come full circle with me, and we did not go full circle right there. You're like, that's where I saw him.
No,
that's what I was hoping for.
But we only watched it on TV then.
Yeah.
But yeah, knowing I wanted to fight, like, at that time, probably more than Jill, right? Like, I really had a passion for it. And when I do something...
You had a passion for the training part of it.
Yeah. And when I do something, I'm going to do it at 100%. Like, I'm not going to do anything half-ass. And then that's when I found you, and you were like, you suck, right?
I didn't say that.
Kind of. You probably should go over... Remember when you put me in the corner with... I was pretty much on timeout with Maria at the time, who wasn't married to Ben yet. You're just going to go over there and defend arm bars for an hour. Do you remember that?
I don't.
And Maria wasn't the nicest person.
No, she's a mean one still. She's got a little mean streak in her still.
And because that was, in a way, her house, right?
Yeah.
Especially when it came to jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
And I still remember that.
Well, and then you had you fought before? You had your amateur career before?
Yeah. So before coming here. Mm-hmm.
Where were you fighting out of?
At that time, I was in Orange County with Jeff and Jeremiah, and just us three training at LA Boxing, right? And I did all my amateur fights for Tough Enough in Vegas.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
So
I do remember that now.
Yeah, Tough Enough is great show. Like,
did you have any pro fights there? Or your first one was here?
No, they weren't doing pro yet then.
Yeah.
They just started that a few years ago.
Not too long ago.
Mm-hmm.
So what did you think when you came here?
This is where I need to be.
Yeah.
Right? If I want to get better. But remember, I came like before my pro debut. I'd already signed the contract, and you were just like...
I thought we could have used another amateur fight.
Mm-hmm.
Well, more than anything, too, I tell people that all the time. They come here for camps. It's very hard to get better during a camp. Because you're pointed at your thing, you're trying to sharpen edges, you're not trying to learn new stuff.
Yeah.
Not too much, right?
Yeah.
A trick here or there, certainly. But it's hard to learn a new system in 2-3 months. As you go through your career, you fought a couple of UFC vets while you were coming up. Ashley Yoder, and you fought Sarah Alpar, whose name is Sarah Simmons now. Both those girls ended up in the UFC.
Yeah.
And you fought them, and we kept going and getting better. And then we got lined up for the first ever RFA Strawweight title. And we drew Zoila Frausto. And what did you think about that?
I remember getting the call, right? Like, I mean, because that time I was 4-0 with RFA or 3-0 or I don't know. RFA is a great show. I love them. Love everybody over there.
Well, and they're LFA now.
LFA now.
I mean, they're the same.
But same people.
Yeah.
Ed and all them great people.
Yeah.
Right? And when they called and said, you're going to fight Zoila for the belt, said, wow.
Pumped.
Okay, let's go. I remember calling Jill right after. I said, Jill, guess who I'm going to fight? She said, Zoila. I said, Zoila. And she's like, what the... I said, yep. Jill and I were YouTubing Zoila's videos on how to kick a heavy bag way back when.
That's funny.
And Zoila knows that. Like, I've
Yeah.
told her that.
Yeah.
You know, you got to remember what she's done in the sport, right?
Yeah.
Bellator and
Well, she was the first Bellator champ.
yeah, but
She beat Meg Fumi.
Exactly.
She fought Jessica Penne, Jessica Aguilar, and Rosie Sexton. And that was all in the same year. In 2010, she just tore it up.
Yep.
Won a bunch of awards. She also fought Misha Tate, Jessica Ai, and Jennifer Maya. So that's a big ask. I mean, I feel like, I don't know for sure, but we were set up as the B-side in that fight. Like it was supposed to be her comeback.
That was supposed to be her one win and then her ticket to the UFC.
Yeah.
Which we knew that. Right. Yeah. I remember and it's funny because I watched the fight, a couple weeks ago. And I can remember it like last night, right? Walking into the cage. There's these two guys who are sitting cage side. And I remember, they're probably talking who's going to win, right?
Yeah. Because
then they both pointed to her.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I remember seeing that.
Well, and she seemed to have a lot of, you're a good fighter, but she had her, I feel like she had her best before. And, fighting you, they were hoping she could come back. I don't know why, looking back, it doesn't feel like that now, but then it felt like they were trying to get her into the UFC.
Yeah.
Maybe because she was the Bellator champion. I don't know.
And they needed names like that.
But funny things happen. You got to actually fight that fight. So let's check it out and watch it right now. Mauro Ranallo. That old Pride voice.
Well, that's another thing. She missed weight too.
Yeah. I remember you were looking pretty skinny that night on the weigh-ins. There she is.
No tattoos then.
You got a lot more now?
Yes. Yeah.
Marked up. That's just the map of your life right there, baby. Nice. The banner looks good. Kind of missed those banners, to be honest. You know what I mean? What'd you think standing across from her? Were you thinking about what she had done or what you'd seen from her, or were you just focused on the job at hand?
I thought, here we go. I'm going to fight Zoila right now. Everybody was there. You know what I mean? Jessica, the name goes on. Everybody was there.
So we're yelling right off the bat. What are you thinking to get started with?
Slip jab. Always my money maker. Slip jab because I'm left-handed. Right?
Nice.
Head's always offline.
You know what?
You hear them? Oh, she's going to have the upper hand in the striking, right? That's what they're saying right when the fight starts.
Well, with her background, right? She's off to a pretty good start. She's landing. We're kind of not landing. But you don't seem deterred at all. That inside kick was good for her. And she went away from it. I think maybe because your forward pressure took it away from her. Her right hand landed it quite a bit in this fight. Not early, but you were slipping her jab so effectively. Well, your jab was really the story of this whole fight.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You look like you're just ignoring her, your puny strikes do nothing to me.
And I thought it would be... Whew.
What did you think when she fell off that jab?
They just knocked somebody down in Zoila.
Everybody needs to stop for a minute. Did you see that? Did you think, does Zoila have any ground game?
I think she's purple belt, right?
Yeah. Doing a good job staying distance here. Would have liked to seen that head come up a little bit here.
Yeah.
There you go. Did a good job just staying aware here too.
Here, Randy, stand up, please.
I don't know, watching the ground exchanges, I wasn't nervous at all about you being on the ground.
What'd you say? Killer.
Did I? That sounds like solid advice. Not as technical as some may like, but right to the point. Your volume is giving her a bad time. You know what I mean? I feel like
it's crazy because when I think about the cardio in this fight,
yeah,
the best cardio I've ever had, right?
What do you think that was from?
Jarrett.
And Jarrett,
I remember doing my last run that week before we left. And our Lauren was by the treadmill, and she was like, "Really, Jocelyn?" I was like, "Dude, I feel great." Like,
That's awesome.
remember when we first started doing my rounds for this fight after round 1? Remember, I was like, "Only 4 more, coach." Do you remember that?
Just 4 more. I think I can do it. You know what surprised me as I watched this back? I didn't remember her hitting us this much early, right? Like she hit us with those jabs, but you just walked through them like you didn't even feel them.
Yeah.
And she had been rumored to have so much power. Not rumored. I mean, she had good success in her career. I didn't mean that like that, but you just walked through, and it seemed like it intimidated her.
Oh, yeah. I don't think she thought, nobody thought this. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. You're starting in this round. See how uncomfortable she was, how tall you are, her up on her toes.
Look, I'm just like,
yeah. So how'd you feel sitting down in the first round?
Phenomenal. And
were you like, is it supposed to be this easy? You look ready to go. Did you feel fresh?
Yep. I felt great. Everything went right. Right. We've talked about that before. From the whole fight camp to traveling to weight cut, all of it, everything went.
We had the weigh-ins on Fremont Street. Do you remember that outside?
Yeah, I had to get naked on Fremont Street.
Well, that wasn't the last time for that one, I don't think.
Been there a few times.
Look how uncomfortable she is here. And she's breathing hard. To her credit, like she didn't fold, which some people could have.
Yeah.
Like with her nose bleeding and she feels like she's not getting off. You're doing a good job catching that outside kick, that lead leg kick with your right hand.
That didn't do shit.
No wonder why she didn't think about, because your jab was dominating the fight. Like your jab set everything up. How come she didn't teep a little bit more? Because her round kicks let you step in. You were just kind of eating her kicks. You weren't necessarily like checking and firing. She'd throw and you just go at her.
Yeah.
And like with the length, I wonder why she didn't think about trying to establish range a little bit better. Because you're really dominant. Like, again, you just walked through some of those. You slipped through some of those. But you were always pressuring her. Like, I think she felt like she was trying to hold the bulldozer back.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And I like that spot too on the cage is the head pressure because it annoys the,
That was a good initiation. And you're like, let me just slide up. Yeah. Like you were good in that double and you ended up landing it on her a couple of times later in the fight. And this wedge position here where you drop your right hand between her legs frustrated her bad. Because I think they wanted her to wrestle you. Darren Uyunyama. He was her jiu-jitsu coach and a really good jiu-jitsu guy from up north. And her whole camp is really good.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Kieran and Darren, they're like, they've had multiple UFC fighters, lots of success over the years. I heard them yelling that they wanted her to wrestle you a little bit.
And they're still training a bunch of big names at their gym.
Yep.
Hey, Randy, don't be lazy.
You do right there in your kicks. You didn't seem tired with your body language, but those kicks do seem. Did her kicks ever bug you in this fight?
Not till the next day. Daring, no. So take that. Have it on my forehead. That's like the worst feeling, though.
Yeah. Well, the cage is so sucky to have your head driven into.
Yeah. See, and I know those, like, even when I throw those knees aren't doing much. It's more like my forehead.
Yes. Well, and she can't get out of there. Like, that's the ultimate thing is that you feel frustrated that you can't get off the cage. Shout out to Kim Winslow for letting us fight here for this long. Some refs would have moved you guys back out to space. I don't think it would have made much difference. I think Zoila would have ended up backed up against the cage again anyway. Now, who's your main training partner for this? Lauren Murphy and who else? Did you work with some of the boys on this thing?
Yeah, I remember Matt was here then.
Matt Almy.
Yeah, he gave me a lot of rounds.
Yeah, he was a good fighter. All right, round 3. How are we feeling at this point?
Great.
Like fresh?
Yeah.
Still pop in the hands?
Okay, we're almost there. We only got 3 more rounds. See, yep.
That was nice.
They were trying to
defense on the double.
wrestle.
Yeah. Now we're right back home again.
Mm-hmm.
What were we telling you in the corner? Do you remember?
No.
Is it just kind of a blur? Do you remember corner moments, or as you go through, do you just remember the fight in general?
I remember what you said going into the 5th round in this fight.
Oh, yeah? Was it good?
Do
What
you
did I
remember
say?
it?
No.
You don't remember?
Of course I do. What was it?
You said, now we're winning,
Yeah.
right? What is she going to try to do? She's going to try to knock you out right now. So that's all she could do right now.
He's been trying to keep me out the whole time, coach.
She was gassed. She was tired.
Yeah. Well, and that's one thing, rewatching it, I kind of admire about her, because some of her body language here is not good.
Mm-hmm.
And then she'd come back out and throw hard punches and kicks and keep fighting. Nice recovery there. That's something we worked on your whole career.
Yeah.
Right? Like that really was the emphasis for you, was wrestling and jiu-jitsu, because it came so naturally to you.
I mean, it was pretty...
No, but that's something you had a hard time with. It wasn't really your first love.
No.
More than anything.
And I think like too is like wrestling, just being flexible and all. You know, when we do our gymnastics on Tuesdays and Thursdays, I don't have the prettiest cartwheel, you know?
Probably now you do.
No, I don't. It's still
Nobody
bad.
knows. Just say, yeah, I have a wonderful cartwheel.
Still, you know, and then we have, you know, Kyler in here running off the wall doing flips and shit.
Yeah,
you know?
He's a crazy man. You know, the thing about wrestling is I remember talking with Benson that wrestling, they did a test and they were second on like every category. They weren't the strongest, but they were like the second strongest next to the lifters. They weren't the most flexible, but they were the next most flexible. They weren't like in all these categories. In wrestling, you have to have such a wide range of athleticism.
Yeah.
And you know, the reactiveness of reacting to a shot, getting back up on the ground, that moment that you react is so important.
Yeah.
If you give that moment away, you've given away 30, 40 seconds of hard work.
Yep.
If you can react in that moment, and that's hard. That's a hard thing to do. Oh, that was a decent knee right there. That was a nice double. I wish that had happened a little bit earlier. That was sick. Do you know that entrance you had in the first? You had that same exact position, and you just let it slide up.
Yeah.
Hit her with the jab right away again. And those elbows. Nice. Relentless pressure. That's really the story of this thing.
Yeah.
I think. The story of this fight is just relentless pressure. Now, even here, she gets you turned, but you use your wedge, your underhooks to move her back easily.
Everything just flowed, coach. Yeah. Like, everything was on point.
Do you remember what you're thinking at this point? Or are you just in the groove and just riding it?
I was just happy.
Yeah.
I was just happy then.
Having a great performance. Well, like she turns you, but then has no idea, like double understeer for her, and doesn't. I think because she hasn't ever had to wrestle before, right? In any of her other fights.
Yeah.
She's not trying to get people to the ground. Kick her. That's like me.
But see how she was like switching stance? Because I feel like her left leg, she gets up better to the head.
I think when she went to southpaw, it gave us more trouble. I think she landed her right hook. Because remember, early she landed the right hand.
Yeah.
I think when she switched to southpaw, that right hook was more available, and the left kick was nastier.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's one of those things. I think by the time she decided that was going to work, or she felt better there,
it's too late.
It was too late. The damage had been done. Well, it's grueling for both of you two. Just that over-under battle.
Yeah.
Did you like having Kim Winslow as a ref?
Oh, yeah. She's a sweetheart.
Did that mean anything to you, being in a women's fight and having a woman refereeing you?
No.
Didn't matter at all?
No.
You know, because some people, that's super important. Yeah, she's better south. See that right hook?
Yeah.
That kind of didn't throw us off because forward pressure had been the answer the whole fight. And then forward pressure was still the answer. But I thought she was way more effective southpaw in rewatching this. You know, it's funny. When I was watching it at the beginning, I didn't really notice she was orthodox to orthodox. I just watched the fight. You know, I
Gotcha.
was trying to get a general feel on, before I watched it with you. How did it feel? What am I thinking? And then later, when she was southpaw, I was talking about her right hook in my notes. I was like, "Oh, the right hook is landing. Wonder why she didn't throw it early." Well, early she was orthodox, so it
Yeah.
was an overhand right, and she landed a couple.
She did in the first
not
round.
super hard, but her right side was more successful. I feel like fatigue wise, we're a tiny bit fatigued here too. Not as much as her. We're not beat up and fatigued, but I think if we had just a little bit more pop, we're leaning a little bit here. If we had that initial pop, I think she goes down. Like, that was a nice jab.
That was a nice elbow right there. I mean, it didn't do anything, but
Telegraphed that double for a ways. She had to switch back to orthodox to shoot. Did you feel like that told you? Like you felt it coming?
yeah.
And again, Kim let us sit here for a little while. Like if I was Zoila's guys, I would have been yelling. But she's trying to go for the guillotine, not really. Like, I think she just wants you off of her. Nice. Let's go for a ride. Those 3 double shots. This one, the very first one that you didn't want really. And then that one at the end of the 3rd round was sick.
I was like, I want to go full mount, but my leg isn't moving right now.
You're saying, go full mount. And your leg's like, I'm just going to stay here.
Just stay right here.
No, let's go full mount. All right, round 5. Time to decide who wants it more. And I've kind of said this already, but you got to give credit to Zoila for still fighting.
Yeah, 100%.
You know what I mean? Because this is the one-sided ass whipping at this point.
Yeah.
She's not moving. She's not really firing back. Those little elbows, but she's just trying not to get hit in the nose again. Don't you think?
Yeah. And to be honest, like, I didn't want to stop fighting.
Well, you've always been a scrappy one. Like, you like fighting.
Like, I enjoyed beating her up. I'm like,
were you trying to take her down or take her back, or were you just thinking, I'll just hold her here for a little bit? Oh, you do take her back. I remember, get a little body triangle in there. Show it to me. Oh, yeah. Ground master.
ooh,
You're like, I don't remember this part. This is nice, though. You did a good job.
Did you hear what you said? Don't let her spin or come on top of you.
Yeah. Well, those are important because she's trying to drive over you to spin, right? To create a better leverage point, keep you trapped on your back.
Come on. Get
girl,
flexibility.
heavy hips. Nice. Good job with those heavy hips, too. That was an excellent ground sequence for you. For the ground not being our best spot, this is all really, really good stuff. Oh, you're making me nervous. Yep. God dang it, Jocelyn. Got to make me live that one again.
Dude, I didn't even feel anything.
Yeah, I know that. With those knockout ones, you don't feel anything either. You just wake up with me staring at you.
I let her get up. Yeah.
Yeah. Did you not feel comfortable dealing with her legs, or did you just feel like you're going to get up and beat her up again?
Yeah, that she would just get up and we'll just keep doing what we're doing. But I think, like, kind of right there, I was kind of killing more time, if anything,
Well, because we knew it's going to be hard to finish her. She had survived a lot, and she wasn't doing any damage there, other than the up kick when we leaned over too far.
No, she's tough. Like,
yeah, she is. Well, and I'm surprised she didn't come out more bombing. When she switched southpaw in the 4th, I was thinking it was the 5th. It wasn't. It was the 4th. She was trying to wrestle you, and she just didn't have the chops for it.
Yeah. And we already knew she had a bad weight cut.
Yeah.
Right.
The only chance she has is to get out of there and throw a head kick. But she's too tired to do that too. Don't you think?
She's even too tired.
Like she's staying. Oh, the elbow was nice. Maybe that's what she was thinking. Right hook was hard again. Let's send her flying one more time. Come on.
Do I? I don't think I do.
No.
I tried.
Got those hips too high. Legs are a little tired at this point in time. But as you look at it, though, that's a dominant performance. 5 rounds of you dictating pace, position. How'd it feel right there? I like that you didn't give Randy the double unders. You know what I mean? You're like, no.
That-
You can go over. I'll
I
give you
was
the over.
tired. I always think about that.
How's it feel watching it again?
Good.
Fun?
You know who I hear a lot?
Huh.
Jana.
Oh, yeah?
Nonstop.
Really?
Mhm.
I can't hear her at all.
Come on, baby.
So it has some bittersweet.
It's emotional. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
And all judges scored the bout 50-45 for your winner by unanimous decision and new RFA Strawweight World
There you go.
Jocelyn Lybarger.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm. Fun one.
What a cool fight. How do you
And
feel
the-
like that going forward affected you? Like, how, did that springboard you? Where do you put that fight? What's its role in your life at that point after we're done with it?
I thought it would. I thought like I was like moving in the right direction, you know,
Yeah.
but
You were?
yeah, I was. But I feel like everything changed after that. Like for me personally, you know, like
In
it
what way?
just life. Like I never fought like that again, which we've talked about that,
Yeah.
you know, and it's probably like going to the UFC is like, you know, maybe the stage was too big for me. Right. You know, and then making my debut on the Conor McGregor card. Right. That was a shit show. Like that was
Who did he fight on that card?
the Jose Aldo one when he knocked out.
Oh, in Vegas.
Yeah. And
Do you remember the MGM was like,
yeah, do you remember you were the one that got us out of there? You're like, follow me. I know how. Remember? Because after he knocked him out, we're in the locker room and you looked at me and you're like, we got to go.
yeah,
Like it was mayhem.
it was
you
man.
know?
There was Irish people climbing the walls.
Mhm.
Remember that? They
Yeah.
were literally up on the pillars.
Yeah. So I think like, yeah. So I felt like that fight, right? Winning that would change so much. But I do think, you know, looking back at it now and like talking about it is the stage was probably too much for me.
Why do you say that? Like, what does that mean exactly?
Uh,
Because
I was overwhelmed.
Your work ethic didn't change.
Yeah, but I was overwhelmed, like, period. You
Huh.
know, like,
I never knew that.
yeah, I just couldn't perform the same. And then at the same time, I was happy just to say I made it, I guess, you
Yeah.
know, because, you know, how many people make it, right?
To the UFC.
And yeah.
Well,
Or-
we talk about that quite a bit with fighters. You don't want to go there just to have made it.
Mm-hmm.
But some people, it's enough. I
Yeah.
mean, some people, and even if it's not enough, it's a hard level to fight at.
Yeah.
You know, the things that are expected, the level you have to train at, the people that you're training against are training the same way.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and sometimes at these lower level shows, maybe they're not putting in the right work. Maybe their diet's not good. Maybe, you know,
Mm-hmm.
something's not right, and you can get away with not being there. But in the UFC, everybody's good.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Everybody's good.
Especially the girls, right? It's like, I remember looking at the roster. Okay, who would I want to fight? I thought it was Nina in Phoenix, right?
Yeah.
I asked for that. Nope. Still got the damn lump on my leg when she kicked me. Remember that the first round?
Walking down memory lane.
She's like, she tells me, I thought I broke my foot. I'm like, well, I thought I broke my shin. The lump's still there.
Oh, that's funny.
You know?
We'll have to take a picture of it, send it to
Yeah.
her. Thank you.
Oh,
Nina.
no, we talk about it still.
That's hilarious.
You know, but yeah, you look at the roster, it's all stacked, right?
Yeah.
Tisha's still doing her thing, like
Yeah.
still winning.
Well, and Randa Marcos had a good career in the
Mhm.
UFC. And then I think Nina just kind of stopped when she started having babies. Is that right?
Yeah.
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 The,
And she might fight again, actually. So,
really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then Tisha just won after having a baby. Like,
Yeah.
The girls are phenomenal,
Yeah.
you know?
Well, and at 15, people aren't getting knocked out cold.
Yeah.
Like,
Mm-mm.
the fight's going to go to the end. It's going to be scrappy.
Mhm.
It's going to be close. They're always going to be in there. That's a tough place mentally to be. You have to be
Mhm.
ready to get into a dogfight every single day
Yeah.
because you're going to get in a dogfight every single day.
Mm-hmm.
You
And
know?
then fighting at 115 too is they were all so much faster,
Yeah.
right? We could say, oh, I'm taller and longer, but Well, that doesn't matter. I could be longer, cool, but I can't catch up with her, right?
Yeah.
I had a
We
problem
struggle
cutting.
catching footwork people.
Exactly.
Yeah. Do you
And-
feel like you would have liked to gone to 25?
Yeah, but remember they didn't have 25 yet.
That's
So
right.
it's right after
So it's
I
either
retired.
15 or 35.
It was right after I retired. Probably 6 months later is when they opened 25. I was like, cool.
Awesome.
But still, the girls are big at 125 come fight day too.
Big.
Like I was kind of always just
Big.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
I mean, you did a lot. I mean, I think Ben and I have talked a few times about how you really maxed out yourself and gave it everything you had to get to the UFC. And for me, that performance is what I remember. You know what I mean? Because I loved how happy you were. I always have loved your work ethic. You know, how much you were about the team and helping your teammates and always positive. So seeing that night, that's what I remember. You know, certainly was happy to see you get in the UFC. And, you know, that's not the way we wanted it to go. But man, that night was a golden one for sure. Well, I appreciate you coming down today.
Thank you, Coach.
I hope it was fun to walk back through that. Boy, what a good night that was.
Mm-hmm.
And you're the best.
Thanks, Coach. I love you. Thank you for everything.
I love you too. All right, guys, thanks for tuning in. That's been Cageside Rewind with the one and only Lights Out. Jocelyn Lybarger. We'll see you next time.